Hi, this is Mandy with Scott Leroy Marketing. So today I want to go over some best practices with you if you have duplicate contacts within your command database. Now, as you can see, I'm already logged into my command and I'm on the second icon from down from on the left right here, your contacts tab. I've gone ahead and clicked on that. So what you're seeing on my screen is the command database. And as you see a person listed here, this is what I would consider a contact profile. So you'll hear me referring to those two things today, contact profile within your command database. Now, let's talk about why you would have duplicates and what causes duplicates within the command database. There are a few common things that we do see happen, like some agents may re-import a contact into command thinking that it would update the information that's on file within the command database. Unfortunately, that's not quite how it works. Once that contact is within your command database, you need to manually make edits to that contact, or you can even bulk edit. If you select more than one contact, you always have that bulk action menu that comes down, and you can edit contacts this way as well. But if you have new updated contact information for a contact, you would actually come in here, select the contact, and choose the edit pencil as it populates on my screen momentarily. There we go. All right. So we have your pencil right here for your edit. So you can always choose this and make any changes that you need to right here, save at the bottom. And that's how you would update a contact's information instead of re-importing. When you are re-importing a contact and it's already in here in your system, there are checks and balances in the command system to prevent duplicates at all costs for you. However, what it's checking is your primary contact information. That's primary email, primary phone, or primary physical address. For example, here on my screen, this Deanna Consuelo was already in my database and I had a phone number on file for her. However, if I came and re-imported her information, even if I got her name exactly right, I didn't have the phone number on the file. I only had her email on the file. So the primary contact information on my file did not match the primary contact information on my contact profile within my command. Therefore, the system did not see it as the same person, and it went ahead and created that duplicate. Now, another thing that happens often is your consumer will already be within your command database because you have contact information for them. However, then they go to either your website or a landing page or maybe even your KW consumer app and they create their own profile. And when they do that, they're actually entering a different email or a different phone number, maybe than what you currently have on file for them. Usually, it's the email that matters on one of those. So, we'll use that as the example. So, they may have come and entered a different email address on one of those outlets, and then it will create a new contact for you in your command database because again, the system is looking for that primary contact information. If you don't have that email address on file that they registered with, then it's going to create that new contact profile in here and you'll end up with duplicates. So now that duplicates are in here, however they got in here, now, how do you deal with them? How do you know which one to keep and which one to get rid of? So, I recommend for the two scenarios that we just covered, if this has been created, if the duplicate has been created due to an import and the mismatched primary contact information, I can come in here and click on Deanna and look in the timeline. I can come over here and see that I actually have history in her timeline. This is the older contact. If I go back out to contacts, that way I'll know that this one is my duplicate. Another way is if you imported them, if especially if we did the import for you, they're going to have tags on them with the date. If that was the case, this particular contact would have had a tag import with today's date on it. And that way I would have known that was the more recent one as well, because my timeline for this contact is much older. Okay. So now that I know that this is my duplicate, I want to go ahead and select it and select add a tag. And I'm going to go ahead and mark it as a duplicate. This will help me out later. So there we go. We're going to add that. I went ahead and added a tag. If you're not familiar with what I just did, you can definitely check out our database overview class, or we have another video on our YouTube channel called Working with Tags, and that'll kind of go over with you in more detail if you need to slow it down or have more information about what I just did there. But I just tagged that contact with duplicate. So now I know which one I'm going to remove information off of, and I know that I want to keep this one, and I'm going to add the information to that one. Let's say it's that scenario where the contact is entering different contact information into, like, let's say your app, your consumer app. They went and made a profile with a different email address than you had on file. When they register on your KW app or your website, they will have a tiny green check mark right here beside their name within your contact profile. Whichever contact profile has that check mark, we recommend going with that one. Make sure that is the one that you keep. It is linked to that email and their profile that they created on your app or website, and or it works for both. And that's the one that's going to give you Big Brother access. It's going to put that information into the timeline for you so that you can interact with them on their search, okay, and on their real estate journey. So make sure you keep the one with the check mark if that is the case of why the duplicate was created. Okay, now that we know which one we want to keep and which one we want to get rid of, there's a common error that you may run into when you're trying to update one contact and get rid of the other. If I were to open up this duplicate contact and just copy this email address and add it to the contact I want to keep, if I came in here to do that and just copy pasted, I'm going to run into a common error that will say this email address already exists on a contact within your command database. Of course it does. It's on that duplicate, but I want to get that information off that duplicate before I archive and delete it. So what we recommend in that case, let's cancel and go back out to our contacts. Give it just a second to freshen up here. There we go. Is actually open up that contact and choose to cut that information out instead of copy. So I just came in, opened the contact, hit the pencil, and I'm going to either Control X, or you can, let me put it back, I can highlight it, right click, cut, whichever way you would prefer to use, and hit save. I actually cut the information off that contact. I'm going to go back, and this is the one that I wanted to keep. For some reason, my tag did not stay there for the duplicate. Did you see that? Hmm. Okay. We'll just ignore that the tags are being a little funky this morning anyway, due to updates. So just pretend that my duplicate tag was still there and I know which one that I wanted to get rid of. This is the one I know that I wanted to keep because it has the phone number on file. So I'm just going to click that and choose the pencil, and we're going to paste this email on file onto this contact and hit save. Now I know it's going to let me because that contact no longer exists, right? Again, it's looking for that primary contact information. So let me rephrase that. The contact is still within my database as we go back and see. However, that email address was no longer on file on that contact, so it let me add it to the one that I want to keep. So now I know that this particular contact is the one I want to keep, and I now have all the contact information on file for this particular contact. So I can go ahead and archive and delete the duplicate. However, what if you're working with a lot of duplicates and you've got multiple within your database and your database is quite large? You don't have to archive and delete one by one. You can, let's see if it'll let me add that tag back to this. As you go along, you just make sure that you keep that duplicate tag on the contact. And in a perfect world, it's going to stay there. This is not a great morning to make this video for you guys since that tag is not working. Such is the life of tech. Here we go. Okay. All right, so now that it has the tag duplicate on it, you can continue moving through your duplicates, cut and paste that information just like I showed you. And then when you're done, you can actually come and either search by duplicate, you can turn the filter on, choose filter and filter by the tag duplicate and apply that. So all of them come up at once. Um, And so you can do whichever way that you need to do that. Filters is usually a little more accurate if you want to search for the tag that way. And make sure that all your duplicates are showing. You can select one by one if you want, or you can select all right here. And you'll notice your bulk action menu comes up. I'm going to unclick the one I want to save just for the sake of today. So this is definitely the one that I want to archive and delete. And this is how you would do it. It's a two-step process. And I should have said this at the beginning of the video. Whenever you're working with your contacts and you're going to be removing or changing contact information, we highly recommend come over here and export a copy of all your own contacts out of your command. That way you have a backup copy. Okay, it exports it onto a CSV file, which is an Excel file, and you will be able to retain all your contact information just in case, because sometimes there's not an undo button for the things that you do in here, like permanently deleting a contact, right? And mistakes happen. So back to this, we know this is our duplicate. We want to archive and delete, two-step process. I'm going to choose from my bulk action menu to archive. Now, what this does is it verifies, are you sure you want to archive this contact? Yes, I 100% know I've gotten all the good information off of it, and I know that it's my duplicate. So I've archived it. You can see that banner that was in the bottom right-hand side of my screen saying that I archived it. Now, there is a second process to permanently delete them. You can leave that contact back in the contact archive, back in the settings of your command. However, sometimes when you either come to re-import or maybe have somebody with a different piece of information, primary contact information, like a phone number, let's say I left some kind of piece of information on that contact sitting in the archive, it may hinder future imports if someone happens to have the same email address, same phone number, what have you, same physical address. So the system will see that contact sitting in the archive and still try to prevent duplicates for you. So I will know for sure that it's a duplicate and I want it gone. So I know I can complete that second step. I'm going to go delete it. So you can come back here, click on your name and go to your settings. This is the back office of your command here. And on the left-hand side, we'll see command settings populate. There we go. And you can see contacts, click on that. And here's your command or your contact archive, excuse me. And so it's loading. You'll notice I have a lot of people back here. We have 2,900 contacts back here, and they are not all back here in order that I've archived them. So I'm actually going to come up and search for the one that I just did. This is her right here. I can either restore her back to my command database or delete. I'm going to go ahead and hit the trash can for delete and hit OK. She is now permanently deleted from the command database. I'm going to hit refresh so it'll update. We'll search again just to show you that she is gone, no longer present. And if you had to do that for multiple ones, you can come back here, select multiple people at one time or the select all. You can do up to 50 at a time if you would like. And then you will have the mass bulk buttons right here to either restore all of those in bulk or delete selected ones permanently. Okay, just to let you know. So I hope this helps with taking care of the duplicates within your database. We are not currently deleting contacts for agents, but you do have the option to do this for yourself. If you have any questions, please reach out to us at support@scottleroymarketing.com. We'll be happy to get any questions answered for you or point you in the right direction. Thanks for watching.